Jaqual's Story Part 3, Becoming a Spiritual Warrior. August 10, 2014. Sue speaks. Dear Jaqual, I have needed some time before I could hear the next part of our story, as I remember that it was not pleasant. Perhaps that is why I lost that section of my writing. I am calling you now because you actually contacted me. I was meditating, but having difficulty releasing my thoughts and emotions. When I finally relaxed into the now of a calm center, I heard your name. Therefore, I have returned to ask you to continue sharing your story. Perhaps the passage of time since I first received, and lost, your message in the mid-1990s has made me brave enough to keep this communication and even share it with others. Jaqual speaks. I am Jaqual. Yes, I came into your meditation because I knew it was the now to continue my story. Suziel, I agree that you have been avoiding the story of my going into battle. I can see that you're tired of all third-dimensional battles. You have remembered and continue to remember myriad lives in which you battled to the death. In some of these lives you fought to conquer, and in others, such with my story, you fought to rescue. Since fear is the worst enemy when we face a confrontation, before going into any form of battle forces, we need to confront all your fears. The physical world in which you now live has many battles. Some of them are hidden and some of them are well known. Therefore, it is, indeed, the now to continue my story. I am still within the temple of remembering. As I stand at the threshold to the third, yellow doorway, I now am ready to remember how I became a spiritual warrior. I will first recount becoming a spiritual warrior. In later visits I will share how becoming a spiritual warrior is quite different than living as a spiritual warrior who is free of all fear. Free of all fear? I ask myself. How can that be possible? I know that I must walk the yellow hallway to find my answer. When I step across the yellow threshold, I find myself in the ship my father invented. I have set the ship on autopilot while I move toward my rendezvous with Commander Maltese and his companions. I must go deep inside my fifth-dimensional self for the guidance I seek. I was just preparing for my warrior training when the Dracs invaded our world. Therefore, I have not received any outer training. Thus, I must find that training within my higher self. I find that meditation is coming to me slowly, as my mind is filled with doubt and confusion. Fortunately, my father taught me to meditate by merging with my consciousness to guide me. Hence, I decide I relive that now. My son, turn around inside your mind to look into your higher frequencies of self. Imagine that you see a long tunnel of light. Good, now calmly walk into it. At first you may see only the darkness, as it is an area of yourself that you have not yet explored. Therefore, be still within the darkness and make it your friend. The dark is just a component of your consciousness to which you have not yet awakened. As you bravely feel the darkness all around you, look inside to find your own speck of light. You will find it within your heart, nestled in the love that you have for your people and the love that they have for you. Feel the warm comfort of this love, and allow it to slowly illuminate the darkness with its ever-expanding light. Remain detached as you observe as the light emanates from within your core to fill your tunnel with light. The tunnel has changed from black to bright yellow, and your body has shifted from its dense physical form to your light body. As you stand within your tunnel, find the peace within your heart, which maintains the frequency of your light body. When you go into battle, your best tactical advantage is to remain in constant connection with your light body self who overlights you. You are not your physical form. You are wearing your physical form. You are your light body. Do you feel this truth within your heart? I am so deeply within my experience that I hear the voice of my younger self say, "Yes, Father." I do feel that experience. In fact, I also feel my light body overlighting me. My son, when you feel your light body overlighting you, you slowly release time and return to the now of the fifth dimension. With practice you can learn to shift your consciousness from your physical shell into your light body self. Then you will have the experience of being a light body overlighting your physical self. Can you do that now? I remember how I tried to move my consciousness into my light body but could not do so. Then, I felt my father gently touch the area between my heart and throat, which I later learned was my high heart. At first, I barely felt his touch, but his hand increasingly grew warmer and warmer until it actually became hot. I was about to pull away from the heat when I suddenly felt what I would now call an orgasmic feeling. Suddenly, I was inside my light body. Oh, what a glorious feeling! I have no idea how long I had this feeling, as I was clearly resonating to the now of which my father had often spoken. I gradually became aware of a dense form that was under my care and protection. The form was very small as I was still a child. As I looked at the child I could see a few health issues, which I instantly repaired. I remember wondering what it would be like to wear such a small dense form, when suddenly I was the small dense form. No, I said out loud, as my eyes flew open to see the smiling face of my father. Very good, son, he said. With practice you will remember how to experience both your light body and your physical form within the same now. Go home and practice this skill. When you return next month I will teach you more. But, I did not return to learn more. My father became increasingly distracted and almost fearful. Then a month later we were invaded. I know now that he had seen that possible reality. That was the last time I saw my father alive in his physical form. Somehow, I also knew that he had spent almost all his remaining physical time on finishing the ship I was now flying. My brain wanted to come out of the meditation, but I felt my light body overlighting me and telling me that I must complete that lesson now. It took great concentration for me to keep my eyes closed, trust the ship, trust my instincts and release the attachment to my physical form. I felt fear wanting to invade my experience, so I surrounded the fear with yellow light to transmute it into power. I was wondering how I knew how to transmute fear in that manner when I felt my light body say, I just told you how to transmute energy, but you must be connected to me in order to be free of time. Transmutation takes too long while you are surrounded by time. I was enthralled by the concept of being surrounded by time that it did not quite register that I was actually communicating with my own light body. I had heard of that type of communication, but it only occurred after decades of study in the temple. We do not have the liberty of time, spoke my light body. In a flash, I was surrounded not by time, but by my light body. Oh, the feeling of being light body was almost more than my physical form could contain. I felt myself begin to leave my physical body when, instead, my light body left me. No, I heard it say from above me. It is not your now to leave your physical form. You are needed to complete your mission. Feel me, your own light body, hovering above you in a higher resonance. You can do so by imagining that I am above your head. I obeyed my instructions and imagined that my own body of light, my light body, overlighting me while I remained fully connected to my physical form. It was a great sacrifice to belay my experience of being that light body, but I knew that my people needed me. Little did I know how many long years it would be until I could return to being my light body. However, from then on, I could feel it overlighting me. Suddenly, my focus returned to the ship as it was informing me that we were approaching our destination. I sent out my telepathic call to Commander Maltese, and he instantly replied. We have arrived at the determined location. We did not want to use our technology to determine your location. Yes, I telepathically replied. I am just landing now. From that moment on, I was a spiritual warrior. I landed my ship and invited the 12 members of Commander Maltese's crew to join me in our conference room. When they arrived, they listened as I gave the details of what had occurred on our world. They all controlled their emotional reaction to harness all their energy for battle. Shortly we had a plan. Due to our telepathic communication with one of our captured people, we knew the Drex were sending our people to their different colonies. We had to help them before they were sent out. We were about to close our meeting when I saw a message from my light body. I briefly told the warriors of my experience, which they all had heard of and understood. They listened closely as I allowed my light body use my physical vehicle to say, "Your unity consciousness is your greatest tool to defeat the draconians. There are many of them and few of you, but your power is united, and now you can think as one mind. They must operate as individuals and can only do what they have been ordered to do. On the other hand, if you can all remain joined in unity consciousness, you can act as one being with many expressions. Your plan is effective, but impossible unless you remain joined into one being. Therefore, we require that all of you connect with your light body in the same manner as Jaqual." My light body led us through the process I had just experienced. Because we were all willing to face our death, our limited thinking was released and we were able to experience our light body, overlighting us. Since our light body resonated to the one of the fifth dimension, we were all joined in unity consciousness via our one light body. None of us knew how long we remained in this group meditation, as our light bodies took us beyond time. However, we all returned to our physical forms to find that only a few minutes had passed. How can that be? We wondered with our group mind. Smiles from each of us relayed the knowing that we had left time. It was then that we realized that all spiritual warriors are united within the now of the One. This bonding was the manner in which we could be successful. As we returned to our individual ships, we all knew that some of us would lose our physical forms. Thus, we promised that if we left our physical body, our light body overlight our group until our mission was accomplished. While I spoke through my light body, I experienced complete freedom from all fear. I had become a spiritual warrior, and instantly knew that death only meant a return to light body. Unfortunately, I was later to learn that there were things worse than death. Channeled by Suzanne Lee. SuzanneLeePhD.blogspot.com